Hello everyone, back tuning into today's video, doing weekend forecast. As always on a Saturday, we're having a detailed look at the weekend, or as detailed as we can get it, because we have got a very complicated week's weather coming up this week. We've got a big blocking feature to our northeast that's trying to ward off the Atlantic, but we have got a very active Atlantic Ocean, as we have had through September so far. That's trying to keep the unsettled weather going. So a real battle going on between the east and the west in the atmosphere this week, and it means that the confidence in terms of the forecast is pretty low. But I think what we can say with fairly good confidence that the north and west is likely to keep things pretty unsettled through most of the week, whereas the east should get some drier conditions at times, with winds generally from a southerly direction should be reasonably warm as well. I'll get on with the weekend forecast for you in a second. Just say that the websites we're using for the weekend forecast coming from the weatheroutlook.com and westcent.de. You can find the link to both those websites on the links page. So this is the latest weather picture from the Weather Outlook. One or two light showery bursts in the very far southeast. The bulk of the country dry, some patchy rain across the west of Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. Here's today's tropical pressure, and this sets up the scene really very nicely for the week ahead. So we've got the high pressure up to the northeast, so it's across northern Europe into western parts of Russia, and then we've got these deep areas of low pressure out in the Atlantic trying to throw in these rain bands, but of course they're coming up against this ridge, and this ridge is trying to hold them off. And in this kind of weather pattern, confidence does plummet quite a lot in terms of the detail, how far eastwards these rain bands are able to progress. So, Saturday started off on a mainly dry but cloudy note across many parts of the country. Brighter skies are developing now, and I think for the south particularly, we will have some sunny spells coming through this afternoon. Most places staying dry, but by the end of the afternoon, some showery rain being to western Scotland and Northern Ireland. Temperatures ranging from 13 to 20 degrees, quite warm in the southeast. Overnight tonight will bring more rain onto the far western side of the country, particularly through the Irish Sea to Northern Ireland and western parts of Scotland as well. But the bulk of the country again will be dry tonight with a mix of clear spells and variable cloud. Temperatures will be mild tonight. Despite the clear spells and nights being quite long now, temperatures will hold up at around 9 to 14 degrees Celsius, so no problems at all with the temperatures tonight. Into Sunday, we've got a weather front in the west. It is a little bit stuck, so many western parts of the country will be cloudy on Sunday with showery bursts of rain coming and going. Some of that rain could be quite heavy, particularly going up the Irish Sea. Northern Ireland might brighten up later with a few showers. Central and eastern parts of the country will have a nice sunny morning, probably turning a little bit cloudy through the course of the afternoon. Temperatures even warmer tomorrow, could be up to around 23 degrees in the southeast, and generally ranging from 15 to 21 across most parts of the country. 21 is 70 in Fahrenheit. Bad weather front will edge a little bit further eastwards on Sunday night. So by Monday morning, we've got rain through the spine of the country. The central spine of the country could be quite wet to begin with. To the east of that, across the far eastern part of the country, mostly dry, with a few bright sunny spells coming through. And to the west, it should be brighter as well, but here we might have some showers, particularly across Scotland, western Scotland and Northern Ireland too. Now, during the day, I think we'll find that rain through the central spine of the country becoming more showery in nature, gradually starting to die away, but probably keeping quite a lot of cloud through central regions. Temperatures in any sunshine could be up to around 20 or 21 degrees, but of course in the cloud and rain it will feel quite autumnal, with temperatures no better than 14 to 16 degrees Celsius. By Tuesday, high pressure to the northeast has more or less taken over the pattern. So I think this is a drier day through most parts of the country on Tuesday, mostly dry with sunny spells and variable cloud. I suspect there will be quite a lot of cloud around just left over from Monday's wet weather through the central part of the country, but expect more in way of bright sunny spells to be developing through the day. Temperatures a little bit cooler, but still pretty decent for the time of year at 13 to 18 degrees Celsius. The next area of low pressure starting to head in from off the Atlantic on Wednesday, so this could bring wet weather to Scotland, Northern Ireland and through the Irish Sea. Some of that rain could be quite heavy. Central and eastern parts of the country might start off on a chilly note with some sunshine, but I suspect we'll hang on to dry weather in the east and southeast through the day on Wednesday, at least, with temperatures up to around 20 degrees in the far southeast. That rain probably moves across the country overnight Wednesday into Thursday. So Thursday, even in the east, could start off with some rain. That should go quite quickly, and then we'll have a mix of sunny spells and variable cloud, probably bringing the next area of low pressure into the far southwest by the end of the day. There could be outbreaks of rain heading into Ireland, Wales and southwest England. I have to emphasise we've gone several days ahead now. We're up to Thursday. So in this kind of weather pattern, confidence is going to be very low. In other weather patterns, say a zonal westerly pattern with no blocking feature, then we can forecast relatively easily for Thursday from Saturday. But in this kind of weather pattern, it is very uncertain by this point in terms of the detail. But I suspect rain into the southwest, otherwise a mainly dry day on Thursday. The winds are still coming up from the south, so it should be relatively warm still, with temperatures up to around 20 degrees in the southeast at 68 in Fahrenheit. Quite a deep area of low pressure to west of Scotland on Friday. That's a little bit of a storm system that could bring some gales into western Scotland and Northern Ireland to end the week. Could be a fair amount of wet weather in the north and west as well, with some quite heavy outbreaks of rain. The south and southeast could stay mostly dry with sunny spells, but those outbreaks of rain are likely to be spreading southwards and eastwards through the course of the day. Still pretty warm in the southeast, up to around 22 or 23 degrees. Obviously a lot cooler in the north and west if these gales get going. Temperatures only around 12 degrees far northwest of Scotland at best. And then into the weekend, lot of uncertainty really, but low pressure doesn't look like it's ever going to be too far away. So I suspect Saturday might start off wet in the east with the rain clearing away through the day, replaced by sunny spells and showers, and then Sunday probably quite a showery day to begin October. Temperatures are likely to be several degrees cooler as well next weekend. Finally, just have a look at the charts from the Weather Outlook. So this is the situation that we've got for today. A lot of dry weather coming up today. Actually, there will be a little bit of rain in the northwest by the end of the day. Rain in the west on Sunday. Central east areas mostly dry and quite warm. Through into Monday, we've got rain through the spine of the country, dry on either side of that rain band. A reasonable amount of dry weather for Tuesday, a few showers in places, but most parts should be dry. And then a little bit wet and windy in the north and west, probably on Wednesday, the east hanging on to dry conditions. Showery for Thursday, and then this is actually showing mostly dry weather for Friday, but remember the model is bringing in that quite deep storm to the west of Scotland by Friday. Detail for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and into next weekend is going to be very poor, at least the confidence in that detail, due to the weather pattern. So, in summary, it is turning warmer, and for the east, it will be drier as well in the week ahead. But in the north and west, still unsettled, with outbreaks of rain at times. And occasionally, that rain will get through to the eastern side of the country as well, I think, in the week ahead. Tomorrow we are doing the first seasonal model roundup for the winter of 2017-18. We're getting several long-range models together for the first time this season to see what they are all showing. On the blog tomorrow afternoon, there will be a little mini update as well in terms of looking at things like solar activity and that kind of thing. That'll be on the blog tomorrow afternoon. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.